switching gears a little bit, but Alex, you are like literally one of the most revered wrestle talkers, which is really cool because you're also simultaneously a actual professional wrestler. So it's kind of cool that you have both of those perspectives. I kind of wanted to ask you, how do you feel about how wrestling handles social media in modern day wrestling?
What elaborate?
So I feel, of course, like the idea IWC is always quick to come in with comments, right, about anything.
Hmm.
Like a wrestler shouldn't be like on social media, it breaks kayfabe, but some people also take the stance of like a wrestler being on social media is a great way to like cut promos and to actually like enhance your in-ring ability.
I think that people saying that wrestlers shouldn't be on social media because it breaks kayfabe is stupid. Kayfabe is, I won't say that kayfabe is dead or anything like that because a lot of people like to say that.
Sure.
Kayfabe has evolved, and it had to evolve. It wasn't going to be the same of that it was back in the day with, people having so much access to their favorite professional wrestlers, whether that professional wrestler is as accessible as me or like, you can see them say something on Twitter or something or on TikTok because a lot of them are on TikTok. Um, I think that there still needs to be a level of respect between wrestling fan and wrestler. And
Hmm.
that respect goes both ways. That's even something that I had to learn early on in my TikTok journey because I was like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about, da 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 da. But then I had to think about it like this: like you have a perspective, and I have a perspective. I have a perspective of being in the ring in front of the curtain. You have the perspective of watching it most of y'all in your entire life, and being on the other side of the curtain. Um, like I used to get really like I don't know, like agitated with like some of the fantasy booking and stuff. But then
Yeah.
again, it is you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I just try to remind people, like from like especially like a booking standpoint, like we've all watched WWE for however long we watch WWE. If you do watch WWE, if you really sit back and you think about how they do their booking,
Hmm.
there really is no reason for you to fantasy book anything because you know that they're not going to give you what you want right then and there, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. If you watch a lot of their like major stars, it's all long storytelling. Like you can look at Triple H's career that way. You can look at Stone Cold Steve Austin's career that way. You can look at The Rock. You can look at Undertaker. All of these guys' careers are just long term booking
Yeah.
to the max. Um, so like I feel like as wrestlers we don't need to try to demean people in their takes.
Hmm.
There's no right or wrong, it's all subjective. And that's one thing we also need to remember, that this shit is subjective. It is art or whatever. Like these people going in and writing television for weeks on end, or maybe they write it that day, it doesn't matter. They're
Hmm.
trying. That's all they can do. That's all they can do is try. And then also wrestling fans on the internet have to understand is they're not booking this show for you. They're
Yeah.
not. I was thinking about this the other day. Sorry for this little rant tangent or whatever. Um, there's a there's a pristine difference between the fans in the crowd at the show and the fans on the internet. The
Yeah.
fans in the fans in the arena were, no matter what the company, MLW, AEW, WWE, Impact, I mean TNA, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fans in the building watching the show are way different from the fans on the internet. And some of those fans in the arena might be on the internet, but majority of them are not.
Yeah.
They are the WWE, for example. There's a lot of fans in those arenas that will never get on Twitter and will never get on TikTok, will never get on Instagram, anything like that. They're just there to see the show. Um, and I feel like that's who they direct most of it to, because they're gonna come in and enjoy whatever's going on. The
Yeah.
fans on the internet, they're gonna be like, oh my God, they're not doing this, they're not pushing this guy, they're burying this guy, this, that. And it's like, most of the things that you think are going on, especially some of those burials, it's not a burial. It's them trying things. And sometimes they hit and sometimes they miss. Um, but yeah, I think overall people need to chill. Yeah.
I feel like that's solid advice for the IWC in general, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Calm the fuck down. Really.
Just wrestling.
Just enjoy
Fun.
wrestling.
Just enjoy it. It's supposed to be fun.
Yep.